All right, this is Lewis Thomas with the Master Carpenter Series channel. And what we're going to do, I've been, I really had a really good comment. Actually, several. The bad comment was even a good comment. It's actually what provoked the good comment. And I can't think of the guy's name, but I'm going to give him a shout out. I want to make sure I give him a shout out. But yeah, we're going to get into, I want to show you all something, a easy way to figure out where your hip hits the wall. Okay, I'm going to give you a nice in-depth instructional, and I'm going to make this as simple as possible. And all you have to do is keep reviewing this video, and you're going to have this thing down pat. And I just hope that you're able to see all the lines that I'm making on this piece of plywood here. All right, now this is a way that you graft out for a mixed pitch roof, or for any roof for that matter. So let me get started here. Okay, so you see we have our corner here. All right, now the first thing you're gonna, let's say we got a 712. Okay, I got a little 712 mock-up right there. You see that little roof there? That's a little 712 mock-up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my lines going, and just real Melchizedek, Melchizedek. Okay, my helper is gone. Okay, but anyway, that's expected. Oh, give me a black Sharpie marker and stay out here with me so you can learn something. Now, let's say we're doing a 712 roof. Okay, you got your corner here, 712 roof, and so well, I'm going to show you several ways. Okay, you got 712. Okay, so what you do, you got your 7. I'm making a mark right there. You probably can't see it. All right, and then I'm going 12 here. All right, and I got the body of the speed square right on the factory edge. Okay, okay, that's cool. Tell them to look for a black one. So what I do is I square this down, that 7-inch mark. Okay, I'm squaring that down. That's what I'm doing right here, because remember, I already made the 7-inch mark, right? 7 inches from the inside over here, 7. The mark was a little higher than 12, so what I do is just, and I make a line here at 12. Now 12 is the intersection here. Okay, 12 is the intersection. So what I'm going to do is here, well, I want you all to be able to see that. So 12, that's my, so those are the crosshairs for where 7 and 12 inches meet. Watch this now, 7 and 12 inches. Remember, the pitches that we're going to have is going to be 7 and 12 inches. Now, let me give you a rule of thumb, because these kinds of orientations get people confused when it comes to degrees, pitches, angles, and so on and so forth. So, watch this now. This is 7 inches, and this line is 12 inches. I hope you can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that good. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. So you can see my 7-inch mark here and my 12-inch mark here. 12 inches is from, okay, here Okay, now I got to zoom back out. So you can see my hand. 12 inches is from here to here. You see? That's 12 inches from here to here. 7 inches is from here to here. Remember, our pitch is 7 and 12 inches. So what we're going to do is this is a horrible chalk line I got. It really is horrible. It really is horrible. And this is a really old chalk line, but the line itself is bad. I replaced it and I don't like the line. Come over here, Melchizedek. So what I'm going to show you, what we're about to do, we're going to zoom out a little bit more. Oh, that's all we can. Let's pitch it down a little bit. So what we're going to do is take the chalk line and we're going to snap this through, son. You know this chalk line is like really garbage. And you chalk this through to the corner of the sheet through your 7/12 mark and snap it. Snap it about 2, 3, or 4 times because this, I need to put some oil on this. Find the WD-40 oil, and you could be spraying this thing. So you probably can't see the chalk line because it's so faint. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do this. This line that you see that intersects and goes to the end of the plywood all the way through the 7 and 12 crosshairs, 7 and 12 inch crosshairs, that right there is the very center of the hip. Remember, it's not the side of the hip, it's the center of the hip. That's very, very, very important. Okay, so now look at this. If you go, let's do it this way. If you go 1 foot, this way, of course, that's that mark there. But if you go, and you know that's 7 inches. But if you go 1 foot this way, you can see that if you drew this line all the way through till it hits this hip, you could tell that this is way longer. Now, why is this side longer? Well, the longer side is the lower pitch. So the 7/12 pitch is actually on this side. It's a lower pitch. And therefore, because it's a lower pitch, the run is going to be longer. You see? The 12/12 side is the steeper side. That's the shorter side. You see? So we go out 12 inches to here. And let's just square over from 12 inches. And you can see we got 7 inches. Well, that means that this side is going to be the steeper side. This is going to be the 12/12 side. This is going to be the 7/12 side. Orientation is very, very important because a lot of times guys will get slowed down because their mind is not used to orientation, of angles, of pitches, which side is which, and all this kind of stuff. And so I'm spending an elaborate amount of time just with this, just to get your mind. So you remember when I marked the 7/12 side, the 7/12 or 7 inches, the 7 inches, that's actually the 12/12 side. The 12/12 side, the 12 inches is actually the 7/12 side. You see, it's in reverse. It's in reverse. So now look at this. What we're going to do now, let's do this. Now, let's say that we have a overhang of 16.5 inches, okay? And it's going to be a brick reveal or stone or whatever they're going to put on the outside of it. So let's say we got a 16-inch reveal, 16-inch overhang. So what we do is this. Well, this is the way I actually do it on the job site. I'll show you both ways. You can do it with the framing square. You could do it with the framing square. You could do it with or you could do it with your uh your what is this? Tape measure. Boy. Okay. I can't remember what this is. Okay, or your tape measure. So look at this now. So I'm marking 16.5 right here. Well, let's come in some because 16.5. So somewhere up in here. We're going 16.5 right here. All right. 16.5 here. Vertical and 16.5 horizontal. We're just making some crosshairs here. Okay. For where 16.5 meets on both sides of the sheet. You see that? Both sides of the sheet. Now, this intersection mark here is the corner of the building. That's actually the corner of the building. And so what I'm going to do is scribe this out. I'm going to scribe this out for you. Okay? I'm making it as dark as possible so you can see what actually is going on. So now you see this is 16.5 inches, 16.5 inches. This right here is the center of the hip. Look at this. Now look at this. You can see, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see from here to where the hip meets the wall, that's where you know your hip is going to be. Now, I didn't do this real fast. I could do this in less than a minute. Actually, 30 seconds. Okay. I went through a lot of explaining because it's going to be people of all levels that's going to be watching this video and with different levels of understanding. And so I want you to be able to grasp this video by replaying it, listening to it over and over, watching it over and over, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So when we measure from this where the hip starts hitting the wall all the way to the corner of the building, we have 1 foot. We got about 1 foot, 12 inches. 12 inches. And that is for a 7/12 pitch. And let me tell you this, no matter what you do, no matter what pitch you got, it can be a strange pitch like a 17 3/8 pitch with a 12, whatever. It don't matter. This will get you exactly where you need to be on the outside of the building line with the center. And, you know, to draw this out all the way, let's do this. Let's do this. You're gonna have 3/4 on each side of that line. Okay, 3/4 on each side of that line. So we're gonna go 3/4 on each side of that line. We're gonna trace this. We're gonna trace this. Okay, so that's your actual hip. And it don't matter what it is, y'all. If you got a double hip, a double valley, should I do the valley too? Yeah, let me show y'all how to do the valley too. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. Let me show you how to do the valley too. So look at this. Because you can figure the hip and the valley with this method here. And I also can show you how to do it with just a pocket speed square. You could figure out where the hip hits on a wall with a pocket speed square, or the big one, the big 12 speed square. All right. It's so many ways to do this. It's like I can't even remember all the ways to do this. But so you see that I scribed out, and if you got a double hip, you're gonna have 1.5 inches on each side of your line. You see? And so the seam where both of the hips line together, that's going to be your center line for that hip. You see? So it don't matter if you're doing beams, pole barns, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. It really is. It's all the same thing. 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Really. So it doesn't matter. Now let me show you this too. Now this right here is going to be your subfascia. All right. This is your subfascia. And this is useful. Uh-oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, let me see. Okay, there you go. So I'm marking for the subfascia. Okay, this is 1.5 inches. So I'm marking a subfascia. Let me mark this over so you can see exactly what I was doing. All right. So this is 1.5 inches. This is 1.5 inches. This is the corner of the subfascia. Now watch this. I'm gonna show you something. When you have these offset pitches, when you have these off bastard pitches or mixed pitches like this, your hip doesn't always hit in the it never hits in the center. It usually is going to hit to one side of the subfascia rather than right in the center. You see? So watch this. This is what I like about this grafting out. I want y'all to make sure y'all see this. So let me mark another 3/4 here. 3/4. 3/4. Okay. And we're just going to trace this so we can get the actual trajectory of where the hip and how the hip is going to hit. So you can see here just a little bit of the hip hits on this side. But what I do, I don't cut this angle. I don't cut this 90-degree angle on the tip of the bevel. I don't do a compound bevel cut on that. I just square this thing off right there. Right where this hip hits here, I just square it off. So that means my hip is going to be a little shorter than this. Uh-oh, boy, it's trying to rain. Dang. It's going to be a little shorter than this. So I guess I'm going to have to stop right now. So yeah, I just square off. And when I'm putting this subfascia on here, I nailed this subfascia with 3 nails into this corner here. And then I put this one on and butt it right into this subfascia and put 3 nails here to hold this subfascia to here, because it can't be nailed into this because the hip is short. You see? So now this is really good because you can see exactly where everything hits, how it's supposed to hit, how you're supposed to cut it, what's your angles. You can even check out your angles here. See? I'm checking out the angles right now. This always gets confusing to me right here. Okay, this right here is about 60. It's about 60-30. Okay, so this if I were to put a bevel here, which I wouldn't do, I would just square it off like I told you. I would just square it off right here. Square it off here. And I always make this a 1/4 inch shorter just to have some play. So I make sure that is never too long. So I make this even a 1/4 inch shorter. You see? And I just cut a regular little square cut on it. You see? Now, now that I have showed you, I don't know if this rain gonna come or not. Just real, take my computer in the house. Okay, that concludes this. We're gonna come back another time, unplug this.